asking, why do you want to become a British citizen? Why do you bother to go through all that hassle to obtain the British citizenship? Well, let me tell you, it has been one of the best decisions I had made in my life, and I'm so glad that I had patience to pursue that journey, that 12 years journey to become where I am today. This video, I'm going to tell you why. So let's get started. First and foremost, the biggest impact. Becoming a British citizen equivalent with no more visa extension and the cost and the stress associated with it. If you are a foreigner living in the UK, you probably know how much unnecessary stress we have associated with, because I guess whatever decision that you are making in your life, and if you want to settle in the UK, everything depends on the decision of the Home Office. So I'm so glad that I don't have to worry about it anymore. Feeling of waiting for the decision, I was so lucky that I constantly bombarded myself with tasks, so I didn't have time to even think about it. Yeah, no more of that dark time or the time when I could not work because previous visa was cancelled because I needed to have a new work visa in order to start my new job. Just like everybody else, I didn't have 3 months expenses saved to pay for all of the rent and the bills. I wasn't working at that point because my visa was cancelled. I needed the new visa in order to work. It was a super stressful time. The second benefits that I find of becoming a British citizen and the option to live here permanently is that from somebody who works in healthcare sector, I've noticed that people had much better life expectancy in the UK compared to where I came from. In general, because people get access to the best technology and the advanced medicine that's available to majority of people. I guess if you were born in the UK or if you live here for a long time, you don't realize that we get to breathe in cleaner air with lots of green spaces that in a developing country where I came from, we would not have that opportunity. If you have an iPhone and you go into your weather app, you can just see that the air index in the UK is always in a clean zone. I didn't realize that until I have the time to actually sit and reflect on these benefits of becoming a British citizen, and these are the things that I have also taken for granted. And the third benefits that I found is the support that you would get that exclusively for British citizen only. Taking an example of when it was COVID time, for those that fellow migrants like myself that work in the UK, we've been working, we're contributing all of the taxes just like everybody else's, but yet we wasn't allowed to get access to furlough scheme when people was out of job for a long time. Or take an example of a friend of mine, unfortunately he had inherited a bad gene that's caused him to get stage 4 lung cancer at the age of 27 from Vietnam. Like myself, if he decided to go back home, he would not have the support, the access to advanced cancer treatment, even though it was so unfortunate for him to have the stage 4 cancer, but found out about it while he's still living in the UK. He managed to get access to the best cancer treatment and it have extended his life. He had another opportunity to live again and even start a family and have his first child. It was such a life-changing experience, and I'm so fortunate to witness that myself. And even though I am an optimist, I'm always hoping that the future will be bright and there will be plenty of opportunity that's coming our way. I've also, based on my experience of working in healthcare setting, that I've seen so many diagnoses can happen. These are the things that we cannot control, but so lucky to have the opportunity to carry on living and working in the UK. Going back to that example of my friend, access to the treatment, if he decided to go back home, he would not have access to those treatments, or even if they are available, he would have had to pay for the treatment, and not many people realize how expensive the cancer treatment actually is. Even if his family could want to sustain his life, they would have to sell everything that they possibly could to fund the treatment. When we are young and kicking and healthy, we take for granted. This is probably the most important benefit of becoming a British citizen for me and my my family. And one of the things that I love most about becoming a British citizen is I have the opportunity to become part of a diverse community. Just take an example that I've just attended a Sikh wedding last week. If I would just live in Vietnam, I would not have access to that. Emerge into different culture and custom of people all over the world. Having a British passport allow me to access 190 countries visa free and about 20 countries with electronic visa, which is super easy compared to before when I even just wanted to visit Europe. I had to apply for Schengen visa. Even though that visa is not as complicated as the UK visa, it was still a lot of steps that you have to take into consideration. For example, I had to choose the cheapest flight possible and book a few months in advance before I get to apply for Schengen visa itself. And if my visa was refused, I would not get the refund for my flight ticket. Luckily that with the accommodation, with the hotel booking, there's a lot of hotels available that you can have free cancellation, so it wasn't as expensive as it could have been. And also you have to show that you had a lot of money in your bank, enough for you to afford a holiday in Europe or in any way that you want to apply. And who would just leave a few £1,000s in the bank with the interest that so low nowadays? Instead of investing on that money, I had to have saved that aside that I can prove that I have enough funding to go on holiday. So do you know what the first thing I've done when I have that passport? I just booked my first visit to Europe without worrying whether I can enter the country or not. I couldn't get on the flight though because it was due to bank holiday and the flight ticket just shoot up so high, but we had other option to visit France, Belgium and Netherlands by the ferry, which was such a good experience of traveling to Europe by car, which I strongly recommend if you haven't done so, because the independence, the flexibility that it provides if you travel by car is enormous. The benefit of the free movement by holding the British passport, not just like traveling a holiday, having the option to travel to different countries will open up to more opportunities in terms of living and work, to meet more interesting people. The other important thing about being a British citizen is that I have the peace of mind that should something unfortunate does happen during my time abroad, then I can get access to a lot of British embassy across the globe. It will provide good safety net from all of the adventures that we are going to do later on. And the final benefits that I found for myself of being a British citizen is that I'm now in charge of my own schedule. I'm not tied to any sponsor. I can work with whoever I want, whatever I want. I can choose to move if I find that this location, this sponsor, this employer doesn't provide benefit, doesn't give me any support in my work and the job that I'm doing, I do not learn anything, then I can have the option to move without worrying about applying for a new visa, without worrying about finding an employer that in the list approved sponsor by the Home Office. And the final benefit of being a British citizen is that I have the option to choose wherever I want to live, and I can live in Vietnam or in the UK, wherever suit me, whenever I feel like it. To be totally in charge of your life is something that I value so much. I can choose to live in the UK in the summer when it's so green and there's plenty of flowers, there's plenty of beautiful places that we can visit and enjoy the fresh air, and the day is very long. You see the sunlight throughout the day and it's not too hot compared to 40-degree summer in Vietnam. And then if I want to go back to stay with my family during Lunar New Year to celebrate New Year together, Cape Cod in the UK, I have the option to do so, which is something that I truly value. And as a bonus, I can also save my energy bill. Here you are guys, that were some of the benefits that I could just think instantly when reflecting on the benefit of becoming a British citizen. Even though the journey was long and stressful and expensive, I think that it's worth every penny because it is a life-changing experience for me. The hassle-free travel to the freedom to live wherever I perform the best. I hope this video would give you an insight in whether you should pursue the path of becoming British citizen or not. If you have enjoyed the video, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe to more videos where I share my learning and experience that will help us live up to our best potential. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to see you in in the next video. Take care and goodbye.